Hey everybody, welcome to our very first Trash Talk episode. We are from the Connecticut River Conservancy. My name is Angie and
I'm Andrea, and I'm the Connecticut River Conservancy's Massachusetts River Steward.
So welcome. We are very excited to be hosting a whole new video series this year called Trash Talk, and we are talking all about trash. We're going to be hosting one of these videos each week leading up to our Source to Sea cleanup, which is going to be held this year on September 28th and 29th. So that's a Friday and Saturday at the end of this month. And we hope you'll come out to join us. But before we dive into talking about trash today, I wanted to fill you in for anybody who's new. Who is CRC, or Connecticut River Conservancy? So we are an environmental nonprofit organization. We work to protect our rivers. So that is the whole length of the Connecticut River in all 4 river states. That's New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, all the way from the Canadian border down to Long Island Sound. So the whole length of the river and all of the rivers and streams that flow into the Connecticut River. We do all sorts of things to protect our rivers. One of the biggest things that we do is our signature event, the Source to Sea cleanup, every year. So Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit about what is the Source to Sea cleanup?
Well, the Source to Sea cleanup is a volunteer-based event where people, individuals, and groups go out to their nearest river, tributary of the Connecticut River, and clean up trash that's come down river, been dumped along the river. So we usually have, this is going to be our 22nd cleanup. We usually have 100 or so groups and 2,000 individuals turn out for the event, hauling out trash from our rivers.
Yeah, it's really inspiring event. I know that every year seeing all these people come out and working together for our rivers across all 4 states, it's really inspiring. So thanks to everyone who joins us for this awesome event. Over the years, we have pulled out over 1,000 tons of trash from our rivers. Can you imagine what our rivers would look like if there were 1,000 more tons of trash in it than there are today? That would be a pretty awful sight. So we've accomplished a lot with the Source to Sea cleanup. And as I said, you can still get involved. It's not too late. So visit ctriver.org/cleanup, and there's information there on all sorts of different ways you can get involved. If you are interested in leading a local cleanup group, organizing some volunteers, and going out to a trashy spot near you, you can register your group there. Or if you just want to find a group near you that's already registered, you can click our Join a Group button. There's a whole map there. You can find a group near your town. Click on the pin there and it'll open up all this information about that group, where they're going, what time they're meeting. You can connect with the group leader by clicking the Join This Team button, and you'll let them know that you're going to come out, and you can go join them and clean up our rivers too. So that's ctriver.org/cleanup to join us.
Speaking of trashy sites, we're sitting here along the Connecticut River behind us, right downstream of the Turner's Falls Dam in Massachusetts, and we are at a very trashy site. We're surrounded by plastic bottles that have been dumped and hundreds of little pieces of styrofoam. This site is going to be cleaned up on the Saturday of the cleanup. A local person who does some paddling in the area has identified this site and organized a group of paddlers. They're gonna tackle this area. And really, unless groups came out and cleaned up here, this stuff would be sitting here for a long time. It looks like it's been here for a while.
Yeah, because that's one of the problems with plastic, is that it never ever breaks down. But how does trash get here?
Well, there's a bunch of different ways that trash gets here. We've noticed at our cleanups over the years that there's just basic littering. So people, either from cars, or they come down here and they fish or hang out and they just leave their bottles. There's a lot of sites that are just chronic trash dumping sites where people illegally get rid of their trash by bringing huge loads and just dumping it over a ravine or along a riverbank. And then floods or stormwater is another way that transport trash. Some of this, I think the little pieces of styrofoam probably got here during a high flow event, maybe Hurricane Irene, maybe some other high flow event. It comes from upriver, so this stuff might have come from New Hampshire and Vermont, and it landed here, and now it's here to stay until another big flood.
That's a really good point. So water kind of connects to other water bodies, and it can carry trash with it on its way. So it might flow from a street or a driveway into a storm drain, and if it's got some food wrappers or other trash, it will take that with it through the storm drain, and it might end up in a place like this. So,
yep. And then maybe eventually it'll wind up in Long Island Sound and the ocean.
Right. Yeah, we've heard about those big plastic garbage patches out in our oceans. And we've all seen those videos and the photos of the turtles that have the straws in its nose, or the birds and the whales that have the bellies full of plastic. That's really heartbreaking, and it's a really good example of why trash in our environment is so harmful. But it's not just wildlife that it impacts us as well, because we like to get out and enjoy our natural spaces and enjoy our rivers. And not only is trash ugly, but it can be harmful to folks as well. So we got to keep it cleaned up. Just to give you a scope of the problem with plastic in particular, just last year, 2017, during our Source to Sea cleanup, volunteers pulled out over 26,000 plastic bottles. And over the 22 years that the cleanup has been happening, they've pulled out over 132,000 plastic bottles. And that's just one type of plastic, bottles. There's also plastic bags, packaging, food wrappers, styrofoam is a type of plastic as well. So there's all sorts of issues with that. Plastic bags in particular, though, they're a bad thing in our environment. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, every year we find lots of plastic bags in the river, next to the river, sometimes halfway embedded. It starts to break down. You try to pull it out, it breaks into a million little pieces, and that stuff gets into fish, and it's really not good. And you know, I've had people tell me, oh, so this is why they want to ban plastic bags during a cleanup event. So even though they might seem innocuous and you might be able to reuse them for this and that, they really make their way into the environment, and many communities around our 4 states have been starting to pass single-use plastic bans, and because we keep finding them in our rivers, we support that kind of ban.
Yeah, bans are one potential solution, but we also want to mention plastic bags. A lot of folks think that you can recycle them and throw them in our recycle bins with our other plastic items or cardboard items, and that's not really so much the case. Some grocery stores will take them back, but sometimes when they're mixed in with other recyclables, they can't be recycled in the same way, and so you can potentially make your whole batch of recyclables no longer recyclable if the wrong things are mixed in there.
Yeah, even if it's made with the same plastic that has your number 1 or 2, because it's so thin, it's just not recyclable in the same way as these Gatorade bottles and stuff are. So definitely it's not good to mix them in when there's recycling, and if you do know of a place to bring them at a supermarket, then that would be the place, but it's sort of hit or miss to be able to do that.
So you mentioned bans are one way of helping to solve plastic solution, and there are a number of towns here in Massachusetts that have banned plastics in some way, and each of the 4 states here in our watershed have some action that's happening. You can head to our website to learn more about what's happening in each state. If you go to ctriver.org/takeaction, you can learn more about the problems and potential solutions with plastics. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is our first Trash Talk video where we're talking about plastic here today. Some of the other solutions or potential solutions to plastic problems or plastic pollution are better types of plastics. So there are plastics out there these days that are compostable or that are made using plant-based materials instead of petroleum. And certainly that's not the ultimate solution, but it's a step in the right direction. And we really want to be encouraging our government and our businesses and our manufacturers to get involved in helping to stop this trash pollution problem as well. You know, we've been working on, and you've been helping us as volunteers for 22 years out here cleaning up trash. And we know that cleaning up year after year after year is not what's going to solve the problem. We need to stop this trash before it even becomes trash. So we're working this year to help stop trash before it starts. And there's a few different ways we can do that. If you visit ctriver.org/takeaction, there's more info there. We want you to show and tell. So show us what kind of trash you're finding. While you're out doing your cleanup, or if you're out and about hiking or paddling and you see trash like this, take a picture and show it to your legislators. You can share it online. You can use the hashtag #PurgeThePlastic and tag, maybe there's a company name on that trash. You can tag them and say, hey, look at this trash that I've found out in our beautiful nature. So show what the problem is using your cameras. And then tell businesses and manufacturers and government that they got to do better, that we're doing our part. As volunteers, we're all working together to do our part. It's time for them to do their part. So tell them to do better, and tell them to play their role in stopping this trash by making better choices, helping to make recycling better. Lots of other ways. You can learn more at ctriver.org/cleanup. You can tell them to do that by signing the petition that you'll find at that website. And CRC here at Connecticut River Conservancy, we're going to use that petition, and we're going to go speak with legislators in all 4 states. We're going to speak with corporations and businesses in our watershed along the Connecticut River, and we're going to encourage them to do better. You know, we've also heard about businesses like McDonald's or Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, even IKEA, who are choosing to do better in some small ways. They're getting rid of styrofoam cups, or they're stopping the use of plastic straws, and we think that's really, really great. Good job, but do more. There's more you can do. So don't just do these actions in Europe, or don't just do them in the towns where there are bans on plastic bags. Do them on all your stores. So go to our website, ctriver.org/takeaction, sign that petition to tell them to do better. And you can also then join us for some Trash Talk events. So this is our Trash Talk video series. We're also holding some events after the cleanup. We're going to do one a week in October, and we're going to hold one in every single state of our watershed here. So that's New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. Come on out, come talk to us. We'll let you know what's happening in your state. We'll let you know what we're working on in your state. We'll help you figure out how you can get involved as a concerned citizen to make a difference in your state. So visit ctriver.org/takeaction to sign that petition, submit your photos. We have a photo contest running, so your photos are going to do good work showing this problem, but you could also win some awesome prizes. And find more information and RSVP for those Trash Talk events. Anything else?
Well, help us clean up our rivers by joining in the Source to Sea cleanup, and then when you've spent a morning cleaning up trash, you can do more all year round, starting with the Trash Talk series. Let us know what you found, what you want to do about it. Go to our website and take action, and then you can also take personal action by reducing the amount of disposable stuff that you put out into the environment.
That's right, because we all make a difference. Every single one of us makes a difference. Using reusable water bottles, reusable bags, and reducing our own footprint, it does make a difference. So keep up that good work. All right. Thanks for joining us in our very first Trash Talk video. Tune in next week. We're going to hold these on Wednesdays here going forward at 1:30 in the afternoon. And we'll be talking about more trash issues like tires, styrofoam, and more actions that you can take to make a difference. So we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.